More than 50 million Americans have been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. And of those 50%, 75% are women. I'm one of the 75%. That means that there's more than 37 million women who suffer from autoimmune diseases. Some of those diseases are pretty severe, like lupus. And then there are others that just are mild. Sometimes we don't take those diseases seriously. In my case, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease about 3 years ago. My doctor prescribed an oral topical medication. It required a prescription. I followed her instructions. But after a year and a half, almost 2 years, the condition was not getting better. That's when she used the C word, cancer. Well, cancer, that got my attention. So in the process, I have decided that I have got to cure my own autoimmune disease. I don't want to be taking medications forever to control this disease. And in my case, medications are not working. So a new medication has been prescribed, but in the meantime, I began doing my own research on how I can help myself either reduce the symptoms or eliminate my autoimmune disease altogether. In my process, I began looking at diet. Controlling our diet is one of the best things that we can do to control most diseases. I know this because I have a nutrition background. I'm not a practicing dietitian or clinical person, but I do know how to eat. I'm the kind of person that when I walk in the family's room, when we're having our celebrations, all of my siblings would do this. Oh my God, here she comes talking about how fattening or unhealthy something is. After some years, I just gave up on it and I let them eat whatever they want. But, of course, I was always influenced because I'm from Louisiana. We have some of the best food. In fact, I'm about 20 minutes from New Orleans, so you can only imagine the challenge. So I began researching and I ran across something called the Wahl's Protocol diet. It's really a lifestyle. Dr. Terry Wahls, Terrywahl, is a physician, and there's lots on the internet where you can do a search for Terry Wahl, and there are podcasts, and she's also on YouTube explaining what happened to her. But just briefly, I'll tell you her story. She was a practicing physician. She was an accomplished athlete. She could run marathons. She could ride bicycles for 50 miles. And then all of a sudden, in her early 40s, she began experiencing some facial pain. And in the process of investigating, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS. So she went from being a practicing physician to a person within 2 years who could not operate without a walker and a wheelchair. Because she was a physician and because she understood the scientific evidence that was in journals and in her training, she was able to take the information that she understood about how the autoimmune disease attacks our cells. And it's at the cellular level that we have to begin the healing process. So she put herself on a strict diet, a regimen. She figured out what worked, didn't work, and she wrote a book. And she created and trademarked her Wahl's Protocol diet. And so I'll be experiencing what it's like to implement that diet in my own life. Now, I've done some research on the diet, and I've also done some practicing on preparing meals. And there are 3 levels to this diet. The first level is a level where we all could come in on, and you can decide where you would like to start. Level 1 provides our bodies with more intense nutrient-dense foods than we ordinarily consume. So what are those foods? More leafy greens. They can be raw, they can be cooked. Brightly colored vegetables and fruits. Fruits including grapes. When I learned I could have grapes on this regimen, I was like, I'm in. Because many diets say, stay away from the grapes. There's too much sugar, and that's very discouraging. So I can have grapes on this diet. So when we talk about nutrient-dense foods, we're talking about those brightly colored vegetables, fruits like berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. I can do that. Then it also incorporates healthy fats, but it also incorporates animal fats. And unless you have a problem with cholesterol, then you're going to like this diet because we're talking about olive oil and animal fats like bacon. You can have bacon on this regimen. Now, like all diets, you should always consult your physician and make sure that the diet would be safe for you. So level 1 is intensifying all of the nutrients that we can consume. Then level 2, and some people feel better after level 1, but if you really want to go a little deeper, we will move on to level 2. And in level 2, we're going to consider eliminating some items in our diets that are known to cause inflammation. Those things would be milk, maybe eggs. It could also be soy, wheat, and wheat because of gluten. And gluten is the protein that you find in wheat. It's the thing that gives the structure to bread when we eat it. And many, many people have become very sensitive to gluten. You may not be one of them, but you won't know until you begin eliminating the gluten in your diet. When you eliminate the gluten in your diet, you will help your microbiome in your gut. And so I am interested in eliminating gluten. Now, you don't have to incorporate all portions of the Wahl's protocol into your lifestyle and into your diet. You can choose where you would like to start. But I want you to join me on my journey. And so I'd like for you to subscribe to my channel. If you think you'll like this information, then hit the like button. And when you would like to see the videos that I've put out, you can do that by clicking on the notifications button, and then you'll be notified. There's a little bell there for notifications, and you'll be notified when I post a video. I want you to join me on this journey. I'm hoping that I can encourage you to take steps now to decrease any damage that your autoimmune disease or inflammatory disease is causing in your body. I don't know about you, but I want to do more living. I've got things on my bucket list. I've got travel plans, So please consider joining me as I embark on tackling my autoimmune disease while using the Wahl's protocol diet. See you next time.